Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the sands in Vegas, Tyler Mears. Tony Todd. Derek Mears. Just get cozy, boys. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. He's at the podium.
Derek's really sensitive today.
Very sensitive, guys.
Okay, all right. So sensitive that I'm just going to sit over here.
There was a lot of stormtroopers in here before, so we don't know.
Oh, God.
You gonna sit there, Tony? Comfortable? It's a little bit of a. It's one of those old panoramic movies where you use the 4 screens, Cinerama.
If you want to play this game, we'll all go somewhere else. All right. There you go.
All right, so this is really weird. I'm the editor of Fangoria magazine. Nice to see you. And you know who these boys are. So please put your hands together very loudly. The 3 Titans of Terror.
We got another one mic situation, right?
We do have. Well,
you know I'm going to hand this to Tony, and neither Derek or I are ever going to touch this microphone again.
Reach all the way away? All right.
I think the challenge here is, besides the fact that you're all very tall and you've been in some horror movies, we have to find out ways in which we can connect you. There must be something else you boys have in common.
Ego?
But first, let's start. I'm going to start with Tony over there.
Should we stand? Can you guys see okay?
I think we can see you even when you're sitting.
Yeah, you're just used to being on rises all the time.
Oh God, don't make me perch. I'm not perching.
All right, Tony, I guess we'll start with you. Why acting?
Why you want to start with me?
I want to start with you because you're the.
Why do you want to pick
clockwise.
on me? I didn't do anything to
Because you're Candyman. I have to go with you, man. Okay, here we go. We're going alphabetical, so we'll go with C, Candyman. Why acting? What bit you? What was the first movie you saw where I said, I want to do that?
Well, when I was 3, I discovered my process, and I just wanted to tap into the ethereal consciousness of what life can contain and what it can possibly be. I mean, have you ever studied a hummingbird in mid-flight?
Of course I have.
I just love the way life colors itself and wraps around the amoeba of its existence.
Oh my God. We're going deep today.
Failing that.
We're going.
That's all we're going to get.
That's fantastic.
Follow that,
so you
Derek.
guys know, so like, have a lot of you guys been to Q&As before with horror Q&As and whatnot? So a lot of times what we try to do is like change it up, because a lot of times like, hey, what was your favorite kill? Well, we like to kill like this, and it just gets really kind of boring, and people have heard the same thing. So we try to make it fun and turn it into a show.
Well,
That's
do you guys do a lot of shows
No
together?
photos. No photos. What kind of room do you think this is?
Guys, he's 6'5", angry, and African American.
I'm sorry, what does 6'5" have to do with it?
I'm just going to sit down. You know what? Let's just do this. We're all here. We're all fans. So instead of
I don't know. I wouldn't mess with Derek. He just
I know we never got to you,
strange
Tyler, but we'll start with
concoction in
you.
a bottle of water, okay, and shook it.
I know I did. I realized I'm gonna step out of
Then
that
he
can.
ran down the hallway, okay, and did something else, and the water was gone. So be careful.
Okay, let's just open it up to the audience. You guys must have burning questions. Hopefully you'll get straight answers. You right over there, man.
Oh, you want to
Wait a minute. You gave up that quickly?
I did. I'm done.
Oh.
You. I'll jump in when I can. Ready, go.
Tony, hi.
Hi.
Are you a philosophical man by nature for your roles in Final Destination?
You heard the hummingbird in the comment, right?
Yes, I did actually.
You set me up, right?
This is my way of turning it to them that I can join you guys.
I just really loved your philosophies for the Final Destination.
Some people take our work seriously. You see this?
Why is it going to be, what do you mean our work?
I'm trying to include you. I'm being inclusive. Okay. What I do is I paint, right? Life is an easel.
Does that answer your question? It's the best you're gonna get. Yes.
Okay, so you know how they, like, you did Freddy versus Jason? If you guys were to do a movie where it was the 3 of you, who would win? If it was like Candyman, Michael Myers, and Jason, who would
The
win?
producers, probably.
I think the bar that we went to would win, because we'd be drinking a lot.
Yeah, when you say we're versus each other, do you mean like fighting or do you mean like drinking?
I mean, like in the movie, like
in
fighting
the
with your
movies.
characters.
Oh, I don't have the copyrights. I can't answer that question. I don't have that.
What in the
we
bar?
might just team up and You know, something happens planetarily and they just call on us to save the universe.
Sort of serial killing Avengers or something.
That'd be amazing. Can you imagine that? Holy crap.
Wow.
Hi.
Who else is brave enough to stick up their hand?
It's not brave. I was having fun. We
Let's
all.
do it. Yeah, hey, here he goes. Up we go.
All right, let's
Glutton.
get serious, Ed.
All right, we'll be
Let's
serious.
get serious, crowd. Let's be serious.
Two
What's up?
characters that you've played.
Ramsey?
You
up,
played
buddy?
a
Are we recording this
homicidal
too?
maniac type killer, and then you've also played a feral, regenerative, feral-like beast. Who do you like better? Sabretooth or Michael Myers?
Oh, this question's for me. I thought Tony was going to answer this one. You know, I like them both for different reasons. But I mean, anytime you get to carry around naked women and kill them, that's kind of cool.
And pin them to a wall?
And pin them to a wall, that's good. And when you get to be an iconic super villain, whatever the hell I was. Yeah.
How does
That is good too. So I mean, I had fun being both of them.
Right.
You know.
Tyler, growing up Canadian, was there anything that you were exposed to that was perversely Canuck that kind of influences your work? Mr. Dress Up, perhaps, or besides hockey,
Yeah, the shitty weather in Saskatchewan, maybe.
right? Okay, well, that's something.
Anger
That's something.
management
That brings
comes
out.
there.
I can see that channeling that.
But no, yeah, I mean, no, I was a big fan of Mr. Dress Up. Are you dissing on Mr. Dress
no,
Up?
I'm Canadian. I was
Okay.
born and reared on Mr. Dress Up.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Ernie Coombs,
No,
God
hey,
rest his soul.
I was a tall, skinny kid with glasses and braces that got, roughed up in school sometimes, and I was like, I'm going to do something different. And I decided to become a pro wrestler. Everybody was like, how are you going to do that? And my brother's actually in the room here, and he can testify to that. And
Sorry, which one's your brother? Where is he? There he is. Okay,
there he is. My older brother.
2 years for the price of
What's up, brother?
So I said, I'm going to go be a pro wrestler. I went down to the Hart Foundation and trained with Stu Hart, and I trained in the dungeons with him, and became a pro wrestler. Did that 11 and a half years, and still watching Mr. Dress Up while I was wrestling.
Were you a wrestling fan, or just you were immersed in this world? It was a role.
Oh man, I watched the Hart family when I was a little kid wrestling all the time, and that's what I wanted to do. I watched the wrestling, and then I watched action films, and thought that's what I wanted to do. And here I am sitting here talking to all of you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Tyler, what's the status on Penance Lane?
Status on Penance Lane? We are actually starting filming in beginning of September.
Awesome.
Yeah. Have you seen Compound Fracture?
I have not.
What the heck? Dude. Compound Fracture is the first picture through Main Entertainment, so you guys all got to check that out. Derek and myself are in it. Derek tries to beat my ass in it. That's all I'm going to say. But check it out. And Penance Lane, like I say, we are filming it in September.
Tyler, one of my writers, I think, works with Justin Beam. Is he still working with you to some degree?
He helped us with our Indiegogo campaign,
Right.
and then he has just recently gone back to.
I know that.
Yes.
Yes, I know the details.
Wait, hold on. Wait. If you know the details, why are you asking?
Well, I don't know if he's still working with you. I know the
Wait,
details of
I know the
his
details,
woeful
man.
personal life, unfortunately.
I think he was what I mentioned in Fangoria is what happened. I
Right.
think, real quick.
Well,
you
that's
guys
true,
remember that? See? All right.
Any other questions? Now, I'll come back to you. I know you're an eager beaver. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my question's for Tony. First of all, we have Mr. Dress Up in the States, too.
Yes.
Tony, earlier you said,
It's not in your blood. It's an alien exotic thing, but anyway, go on.
you said, you got to follow your heart, wherever that leads you as an artist, you're an actor, but you've been acting for a long time. I don't know how long, but obviously you've been doing it for a while. And
Since high school.
is there anything left? Is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do? A role like that?
No, I still love this. I mean, doing what we do and being, whether you're in front of the camera or back of the front camera, is a blessing, that you can able to capture a segment of life and expose it to people, so.
Are you ever fulfilled, though? I mean, you got another role in
Fulfilled?
mind?
Well, you're always kicking and screaming, yeah. I mean, I just finished a film called Cowboy's Girl, which is beautiful. It's written by a woman, which is rare. in Hollywood. It's about an estranged relationship between a father and daughter. So I'm searching out, and I have a daughter who's in grad school. So I look for things that I can relate to, that I can demonstrate to people.
So you have
The soul of a man.
Is it like a dream role?
As a producer, yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to do the Sam Cooke story really bad. And I had the rights to Lester Young, who's a jazz saxophonist. Had it for 3 years, but they said jazz movies didn't sell, even though it's one of my favorite mediums. So, yeah. So.
Sorry, when was that when they said jazz movies didn't sell? What was that
This
recently?
was after the Kansas City that Robert Altman did,
Right.
and they said that the market wasn't good, even though I did Bird.
I was going to say you were in Bird, right?
Yeah, but
which
they
did do well.
didn't. Well, not to them.
Just critically, not
Well,
terribly.
critically, well, who cares what the critics
I
say?
guess so.
I mean, yes, it was critically acclaimed, but they said it didn't sell in the flyover states, whatever that is.
Right. Yeah, man.
My question, Tom, you played Kern on Star Trek Next Generation. How
His name was Korn.
What? I thought it was Kern.
Korn.
Okay. What was it like playing that character, and how did you like the way it ended up?
Was it Colonel Cord?
I don't know what happened at the end.
They hypnotized you and made you think you were a different Klingon to protect you.
Exactly, so I lost my memory, right? No, I love playing the Klingon. Klingons are like another species, they're, warrior race, and I just did a new fan-based Star Trek film, which I had avoided for years. But this particular group came to me. They have working professionals that actually worked on the show, from the wardrobe, hair, makeup, camera operator, and it's called Prelude to Axanar. So that'll be out at the end of July. They had a significant amount of money to shoot that.
Very nice.
And I played Admiral Mears, who's the head of the Federation at the time. Takes place 3 years before Kirk. So it's the great battle between the Klingon Empire and the Federation.
And Tyler, my question for
You
you
have
is,
something in Star Trek?
what wrestling names, what names did you wrestle under as a professional wrestler?
I wrestled as Big Sky, Nitron, Tyler Maine. Yeah.
Nitron was good. That was a good.
Oh, thank you.
Derek, it was stunts.
Well,
Let's talk about your stunt work, Derek. Is that what?
let's move on.
Please, let's get to Derek.
What?
Derek some love.
Well, I don't care. I'm fine.
So when did you first realize that you could fall down, get hurt, and still get up and be okay and want to do it again? And get paid in the process?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
What was your first film, Derek?
My first film, oh god, my first film was Jeepers Creepers, a movie called The Demolitionist. Yeah, look it up, people. It was with. No, I was not in Jeepers Creepers. I was not in. Nope. I was in Oh My Goshers, but no. No, I was in a movie called The Demolitionist, starring Nicole Eggert and Richard, not Richard Brooker. What's his name? What was his name? No. Richard Grieco, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
That's a Richard. No, Richard Grieco. And actually, it was funny because, like, we're full circle that Robert Kurtzman actually directed that. And it was before I was moving to LA to do the official acting. And all I had to do was rob a bank with Richard Grieco, and I had a shotgun. And all I was so nervous and green. I'm like, okay, I gotta use one-handed shotgun cock. Okay, do it. I got it. And action. Grieco goes in, says his line. Blah, 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 blah. Me. Balls, and it just ruined it. So yeah, that was my my big start. Nope.
Questions? Yes, ma'am.
For Derek, working in Compound Fracture, knowing that it was a friend's movie and you were acting with him, was it more fulfilling doing that role than some of your other roles because it was with somebody so close?
Honestly, all joking aside, with Tyler, when Tyler came to me about doing, he talked to me about doing his own production company. And so many people talk about doing their own projects and they never actually do them. And so when he came to me about being his antagonist in his film, I'm like, okay, I'll do it, whatever. But he actually, he put so much passion and love behind it, him and his wife Renee. And it really, like, you want to do a good job for your friends because you love your friends and you want them to succeed. So a lot of us on the show, you step forward and go, hey man, like, whatever we can do to help out to make this the best thing possible, we're in. because we believe in him. And so now I'm happy that the film's being well received, and he has like 5 more on the slate to do, and he's moving on to the next one, and he's doing what he said he's going to do, and I completely respect anybody as an artist who does that. So my hat's off to him and Renee.
He was going around that question. He loved kicking the shit out of me. He hit me hard.
Just one more quick thing. If you haven't seen the movie, you got to pick it up. It's really good.
We're giving you $20. Thank you, unsolicited offer. Next question.
Well, listen, I just want to say, just outside of what you do on screen, you said the best actors don't watch a lot of movies, or the best, musicians don't listen to a lot of other bands. But what do you guys do? Well, in some ways it is. I've interviewed enough guys to know that the guys who make the best horror movies don't even like horror movies. But what do you guys do?
In generalities.
Well, true, I'm painting with a broad brush. So then let's focus this. What do you do outside of acting that you think brings to the performances, Tony?
I've never done a
Do you
Q&A
paint?
where you're, like, the moderator is supposed to move it forward and you're arguing with the moderator. And we're all like, what? No? What are we going to say?
And
No.
argue with me if you don't think that's true. Do you watch other actors? Does that make its way into your performances, or are there other influences in the liberal
I
arts?
love actors, and I love movies, and I watch anything that's good, because that informs what I do, right?
Derek?
Same.
I play a lot of Call of Duty. No, I'm serious, I do.
Any other questions? Yes, again.
Derek, you and King Hart, has there been any arguments of who makes the better Jason?
There's an invention of something called the internet. Yes. No, it's so wild because Kane and I are buddies and whatnot. And before I got hired, man, I'm a fan of the series. So when you take a character like a Jason character, for example, if all of us in this room were to play like Peter Pan, for example, we all have different backgrounds, and we're all going to approach the character differently. So no matter what we do, we bring our own essences to it, so it's going to be different choices, and film in general is so subjective. So whatever people like what you like, man. So I never tell people like, oh, my favorite is blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's great, go for it. Like, it's not me, I don't care. For myself, like my personal favorite Jason that I've seen is Ted White.
Okay.
I love part 4, and I think it's fantastic. But it's it's never a knock. Whatever people like in movies, TV, film, whatever. I mean, TV and film, how about redundant? Whatever you like, man, own it 100%. It's cool.
We are in horror. Could you kind of refer to something better than Peter Pan?
Me like to kill a lot of stuff. I'll punch his face in with fist parts.
Better. That was at least better. Peter Pan?
Yes, ma'am.
This is for Tony. Are you gonna be in another Final Destination movie?
I've never seen someone respond with just a look.
They were talking about a part 6. We were talking about a part 6, but I don't know. I'm not waiting for it, if that's what you mean.
But you want to be in it, though, right?
Would I want to be? Of course I want to be. It's a great franchise that allows me to do films that I want to do. I love Final Destination. What I'm saying is that I can pick and choose independent films which have more story structure and deeper characters. And
Like Dead of the Night.
You can identify.
Has anyone seen Dead of the Night?
No, actually I wasn't talking about a film like Dead of the Night. It was fine, but that's not the deepest.
It was an interesting film, though.
He was talking about his rendition of Peter Pan.
Apparently we must end on this Barry
One
thing.
man
Okay.
theater show.
Any questions about Peter Pan or other things? Yes, ma'am.
I have an obvious question. There's a new Halloween announced, a new Friday the 13th announced, Friday the 13th series. Wondering if either of you will be donning the mask again.
Yes.
I'm gonna play Jason.
I'm gonna play Michael.
You got it covered.
No, there's nothing on my end. There's nothing official. There's no offer's been made, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not allowed to talk about anything, so I don't know. How about you?
Well, you're not allowed to talk. I don't have shit to talk about. I don't know. Who knows? They got to figure out what they're going to do first.
I think honestly, I think it'd be cool to have to switch it up and have like Tony do like some of the characters. That would be awesome. I'm not making a joke. I'm being serious. I think it'd be kind of cool. Why are you staring at me?
Because you said Peter Pan.
Oh, that's true.
In shock.
I'm still in shock.
Any other questions? Right over there, right in the second row. Yeah, you in the sunglasses.
This is for Tony Todd. I was really curious because I heard a lot of rumors that you were gonna either voice or play Killer Croc from Batman. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
I did do that. Yeah, I did it for cartoon. Yeah. I do a lot of voiceover. Did a long way. Yeah, so. That's so cool. I'll plot it.
I love cartoons. I'm a nerd. It's great.
The Lego is pretty cool.
Good for you.
Questions? Okay.
This for everyone. Who are you guys' favorite actors?
Watch out. Tony?
We're thinking.
Well, you know, when I went to, I got an MBA in theater, right? When I went to school at that time, Robert De Niro probably for the body of work, not necessarily the later work, but the seminal work. You know, The Raging Bull, The Deer Hunter, all that good stuff. Godfather 2.
I honestly, it's hard for me to say because there's so many different things I like about different actors. So it's kind of like saying, what's your favorite food? It's hard for me to kind of pinpoint on that. But I tend to like a lot of actors who have, it sounds strange, like a little bit of madness behind their eyes, where you can tell like there's a lot going on like internally in their scene. So I don't want to cop out, but I don't. Yeah, I really don't know, honestly.
Like a Nicholson.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, like a Jack Nicholson, someone like that. Yeah.
Was that your answer, Tyler? Jack Nicholson?
Did I just say that?
No.
I just said that.
We're waiting.
That's my answer.
Okay, there you go.
Should I say it again?
And also,
Say it one more
Jack
time.
Nicholson.
And also to add to that, you know, these are all stars that we're mentioning, Jack and De Niro.
Right.
But the meats and potatoes of the industry are the supporting actors. People like John Cazale, who did 5 movies before he left us. You know, the quiet guys. Guys speak volumes of their life experience.
Yeah, can you guys speak a little bit about some of this? A lot of great actors out there maybe don't get recognized, but with technology and the advent of technology and so many people making so many movies, gives you guys a lot more opportunity to appear in those movies. But can you speak a little bit about this kind of revolution? Should everybody be making movies?
I've been approached by a group of Vine producers who want to do a series of 6-second movies with me. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm kidding. But they are very popular, these Vine people. So I just saw a great movie this week, Chef, Jon Favreau. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's fantastic. Justin, so about food and life and fatherhood and family and traveling and learning yourself.
I think it's kind of the age right now. It's kind of the Wild West of storytelling, where especially for the TV and film media, like it's such an opportunity now that any one of us, we have cameras on our phones and you can shoot whatever you want, and you have the opportunity that whatever you want to do as an artist, just create and get it out there. And a lot of times the cream rises to the top. And even if people create something and it's technically not that great or whatever, they've learned something from it, and you move forward on each of your projects and get better and better. So in the sense of that there's a lot more media out there and a lot of more markets for it, that it's kind of like pens, where everyone has access to a pen, but few people can create. And what do you do with that pen? Do you write? Do you draw? You have that opportunity, just use it to make more things. And so I love the opportunity, especially with the film and TV. They just make it's so universal now. It's not just Hollywood, it's around the world. So I love that opportunity.
Yeah, what he said.
Do you guys see doing these shows sometimes as part of, in many ways, kind of an informal audition process? You're out there meeting the fans, and a lot of these fans are young filmmakers who grew up on your stuff. You see any kind of connection there? Does that ever pan out where fans become filmmakers that you end up being the film?
For me, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, one that really pops out is Adam Green.
Right,
I met at a convention. He came to me and said one day, I'm going to make films. 3 years later, he sent me a script for Hatchet. So, and he's gone on to have, a prolific career. So yeah, it does happen. Everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody's got a life to share, and just figure out what that story is. I loved your analogy about the pen. By the way, I didn't know you were that smart.
No, I never look at it that way. I just look at it like life philosophy, not getting preachy at all. Like as human beings, like we all have skills in different areas. No one's better than anybody else. just do whatever it is that you love and just try to move forward. And so when you meet people, one of the bonuses, what I like, is with someone's, like for myself, I try to share as much knowledge as I have about the industry or doing what I do, because my job, I feel, is to tell stories. And so I try to share as much as I can. So when you meet people who are like, hey, I want to be an actor, I want to be a writer, I want to be a director, and they're up and coming, it's like, man, best of luck to you. Like, here's my notes so far. Like, and what makes me feel really great is later on, if you see them succeed and not wanting anything from them, and they start to blow up, like industry-wise, going, man, that's fantastic. Like, you said you wanted to do that. That's your path to do your thing. But I never like, oh, I'm going to be this guy's friend because he might do something for me in the future. That's not the way I think of it. But I love, like, seeing people, you know, we've all been through those different struggles, no matter what it is in your life. I want to climb that mountain, and seeing them take steps to do that, even if it's a step a day, or if the snowstorm comes in, they get, you know, knocked back 5 steps, going, no, I'm going to do this. And I love that passion that people have to succeed or reach for their dreams, and have the bravery to actually try, rather than going, oh, I would really like to be an artist, but you know, it's safer. I want to be financially successful as a doctor instead, so I'm going to do that. But it's kind of that Joseph Campbell, like the journey of the hero. The road that's unpaved is the journey of the hero. So I get excited for people, whatever it is that you do or want to do, and you take a step to do that. My hat's off to you. I love it.
What he said. No, you know, we're approached all the time, people asking for advice how to get into the business, and everybody takes a different path, you know? And young filmmakers, there's some sitting in here today, they ask, you know, how do we get to do what we want to do? Just keep doing it. Be tenacious about it. Just go do it and put your stuff out there, and you can succeed. You know, I mean, I came into the business as a pro wrestler. I wrestled for 11 and a half years professionally all over the world, then transitioned into film, and then now I'm transitioning to producing. So everybody's journey is totally different, you know? So just, if you really want it, go after it and be relentless about it, and don't give up.
And struggle, obviously, is still part of your lifestyle. I mean, to all intents and purposes, you guys have made it. You're horror icons, you're actors, everybody knows you, but there's still struggle in
And
what
that's a
you
true
do.
artist also. Like, you're never satisfied. You're always going to
Right.
that next level. You're trying to climb and make yourself better. If you're ever satisfied, then you're creatively dead. You have to keep going better, 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 and make yourself, you know, reach that new goal, and also just challenge yourself. Yeah. I'm getting redundant on my answers.
It's very, very inspiring, though. Do you guys ever watch your own work? Tony, do you ever go back in the vaults and catch yourself on TV and go, I did pretty good? No? You never do it, huh?
No, because there's always something you left out.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? There's always another take that you could have done.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
never, no.
You go back and go, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, I'm still the guy also, like when we're shooting, if the director's like, you're comfortable with the director, like, hey, do you want to do so? Another take? I will keep going. Like, no, you tell me. Because, like, I don't know, because you don't know what's going to come out. I always figure, like, for that creative energy, no matter what you do, it's like you're the medium and it comes through you, so you don't try to control it, you just let it shoot. So you're like, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen next, and that's part of the joy.
It is a joyous business after all. I mean, we're blessed to be working.
For sure.
You know, I mean, it's not, you know, and going back to, like, what does it take? You got to be fearless. You can't you just got to have no fear, and you can't be afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
Because that's going to happen. So the stronger the spine you have, the better you're going to succeed.
Yes.
You guys feel like Hollywood's gone stale? Not a lot of originality with all the remakes and things like that?
Well, these two guys, anyway.
No,
Wrong question. Yeah.
What people don't understand, like, if you want to get real, like, it's probably going to kill me on YouTube, about Hollywood, what I try to explain to younger actors is that it's in our bones to create. It's in our job to tell, it's in our nature, we train to tell stories. And when you go to Hollywood, unfortunately, it's not so much about that, or because we know the creative side, we're never taught the business side. Hollywood is about business. It's about someone who goes, hey, I have $1, I'm going to put it down on this movie. I want to make more money from this, and I don't want to lose this $1. And so when you have the remakes and whatnot, what the thing with the remakes is you have a built-in brand name. If you're already trained as a child, like if it's like religion, for example, if you're, it doesn't matter what you, whatever you believe, whatever works for you, fantastic. But if you're told a certain religion, say like you're told as a child, blue God is the only God in the world, blue God is the best God in the world. As you grow up going, blue God is the best, like that's what I know. And so later on, someone's like, hey, this product is for people who like blue God. Oh, that's me, I like blue God. And they're gonna sell because you're programmed to like blue God. And so a lot of these things, the remakes that you see, the titles, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for example, we know what that is, so anything that comes out, we identify with what it is because we already know what that product is. So it's about business. And so a lot of times, like what Tony was talking about before, about doing some independent, passionate projects, there's times you do business projects, and there's times you do passionate projects where stories about emotion and to tell, you know, in my opinion, the purpose of story is to dissipate fear. Is that we know when we watch a movie that either someone has it worse than we do or someone has it just as bad. So we're telling parables, telling parables, or we're telling modern myths with TV and film. And as human beings, we all need that because we're all a giant pack animal and going like, oh, we all work together, it's all gonna be okay. And that's only my opinion.
What do you say?
I'm getting too real. I need to start like.
Okay, it's okay. Which one are you pointing at? Who's next? You in the back, I guess?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. We got time.
I came in a little bit late to this, but I don't know
Right.
if you've already answered this, but if there's a dream director from past, present, future, who would it be that you'd love to work with?
That's a fantastic question.
Living or dead?
Living or
yeah,
dead.
okay, so it's okay.
You can go from Hitchcock to
Right. That is tough. It's about 100 and change years, man. You gotta mine from there. You want to start?
Any names that would like you don't have to think about it hard, but any names that would quickly come to, you know, Scorsese.
Well, we don't want to mention anything that you've mentioned, I suppose. I know it wouldn't be Cecil B. DeMille. I know that. Yeah, Billy Wilder for me.
I think for modern, like there's so many that I'd love to work with, but the one that keeps instinctually kind of popping up right now in my brain, like I would love to work with Guillermo del Toro. Like I understand, I love his storytelling ability. I don't know, I can't explain why, but like right now, just instinctually, that's the first name that came to my mind. So I would like to work with Guillermo.
One, like a newer one, would be Peter Berg.
Oh, Peter's awesome.
I would love to work with Peter Berg. You know, and all the ones that you know, mentioned too, Spielberg, you know, all of them. Hey, what we do, we just want to work. We enjoy doing what we do. Getting the opportunity to do it, the best thing ever.
Thanks. Great question, thank you.
Go ahead.
Nobody else.
No, we're both repeat offenders, but we'll go with you first.
Okay, sure. Well, Tyler, you were talking about giving advice. I'm a filmmaker. I'm 24 years old, but I started doing commercials when I was like 15. The past couple of years, I've done like 9 features, and I've done pretty good. I was in GQ magazine last year, and you know, I've built up a lot for myself. But at the same time, there's this point where it's like, I gotta get a real job, you know, you gotta eat, gotta pay bills, you know, and I know you guys must have all gone through that. So at what point do you say like, screw it, like I've gone this far?
For me, all the way along, I never wanted to take a second job, and I never did. I was doing what I'm doing, and that's it, you know, and I figured out a way to do it. It's tough. It's tough. But if you're really passionate about it, you just got to go and do it and do what you got to do, you know?
Is there a point when it just opens up?
Where's that? Well, I mean, like everybody says, you know, oh, hey, your life must have changed when you did X-Men. Your life must have changed when you did Troy. You know, oh, you got your Michael Myers. Oh, now you're producing. The door does not open like people think. I mean, it doesn't open up wide, and then you still have to fight. It's show business.
I thought it did.
It's not show. You know what I mean?
Close a little bit, you know.
Oh, hey, dude. Like I say,
yeah.
This is one of the toughest businesses in the world. It is not for the faint of heart. It is one hell of a roller coaster ride, and if you're not able to take that and ready to take that, it seems like you've been doing it long enough, you're ready, you know? Just ride the highs, and when you go down low, just realize you're gonna get through it, find something else, and you'll get through,
Dude, I was
you
giving
know?
out free samples last year for a month, and I can't do it.
Yeah, well, you know, I
You're
mean,
not supposed to do
you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do to make it, you know, and you have to figure that out, and you have to have, it's gotta come from in your heart and whatever you gotta do, you know?
Let's branch out there for a second, because Tony said you're not supposed to, but let's talk about, again, in this day and age, we already mentioned media saturation, there's a lot of guys doing what they do, a lot of chefs in the kitchen, but do you guys agree with doing free work in order to break into the business? Or maybe even after you broke it in,
Yeah, I
doing
want to hear
free?
what these two gotta say too, because you seem like a really smart guy, and I honestly, no offense, I hadn't heard of you until today.
Oh, dude,
you know,
that's good. That's good. But don't remember
Right.
me. Remember the
But
characters,
you
man.
you seem highly intelligent, Tony. You seem like got your head on your shoulders. So I want to hear what you guys have to say too, so I can.
A lot of it, I mean, yeah, we do free stuff from time to time or whatever if we're passionate about it. Because, as an actor on the side, if you do a free thing, it's like, because we're still trying to move forward, going, I don't have an opportunity to play a certain role, certain archetypes, whatever, going, oh, this opportunity, though I don't get paid for it, I'll go and do it because it gives me a new branch or a new muscle to work.
Sure.
But it's a lot of it, on your end, I have a lot of friends that are directors and writers, all different levels, all different producing levels. Even the guys in the upper levels, like they're still having to struggle and move forward, going, hey, you just had this hit film or a hit TV show. Okay, they gotta prove themselves again and they hop back in that social media arena and go, here we go, I gotta slug it out. But the thing is, as an artist, like it's in your bones, you're always gonna be creating. The people I talk to on the acting side, I'm like, why are you an actor? Or why do you want to be an actor? Oh, I want to be rich and famous. I'm like, nope, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
The people who go, it's in my bones, it's what I do. Like even if the different levels, it's kind of like I compare it to like a rock band, where like if you're singing music to your family, at first to yourself, awesome. You're still a singer. You sing it to your family, great. The venues get bigger and bigger. I sing to my friends, my community theater. Then I go I play at the local bar. Now I'm playing in a local concert hall. You get bigger and bigger.
My question for you was, like at what point? Because like I've done, every feature I've done for free. I do commercials and music videos and all that crap too. But at what point did you get like you guys aren't gonna work for free? You've got to that point where you don't have to because you are somebody. So at what point where there's that crevice, that you gotta cross?
You have to make yourself that there's who you are A and there's who you are B. Who you are A and B is the same person. That you have to who you are B is a product, and that product has to be marketed. And so from the marketing sense, you have to go, I'm doing this, like if you guys like it or not, rather than trying to get work somewhere else. If you're talented enough and going, I'm on board, I'm gonna create this project, the industry will come to you also and go, hey, wait, you're gonna do this without me, like I'm gonna be missing an opportunity. I can make money off this guy. I wanna be on board with this guy. So it is, the lucky thing,
It's all money, man.
dude, it's unfortunately a lot of it is.
But what you're saying is like who you are and who you're becoming too,
Exactly. You set your own principles by who you are. You set your own boundaries. And so the cool thing about social media in the sense, which we didn't have before, with your Twitters and your Facebook, is you're basically doing commercials for yourself. Where like your friends and family, like they watch your stuff going like, post as much stuff that you do all the time. So people see it going like, oh, wait a second, this guy, I'm doing a project. I need someone who can do blank. Wait, this guy does blank. He'll make me look good and I can move forward. I'm gonna follow up him. And another thing I tell people in industry in general, when you're working with other people, figure out what the people you're working with on all the different crews or whatnot, what's their next goal? So if you think about a tribe and you're working together, if I know the casting director, their job is to bring the best people forward in front of the producers so they continue to work for those producers and they move forward. So they want me to be good. And so that's the whole thing. No matter what you do, all the people you work with, be valuable and understand what they're doing and try to help them out because it makes you look good.
Thank you.
I got a question for you. Now you're saying you're a director, right?
Yeah.
Are you funding your own projects? Is that what you're doing? You're funding
Up
your
until
own?
this point.
Up until this point, you're funding your own projects?
Yeah, I had been.
And their features?
Among us, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could go to.
I'm doing the same thing.
Okay. Well, no, everybody does.
For everybody,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Start.
What markets have you found for your projects and what are the budgets you're doing them for?
Our first one was low. It was like 27,000. Okay. There's comic book movie.
Right.
So obviously that's the biggest market, crime, stuff like that.
Right.
It's
Did you
sold-
find distribution?
Yeah, we got
for it?
distribution for it. It's in the United States. But ever
Okay,
since
cool.
then I started, what's that?
I said cool.
Oh, thank you. Ever
Cool.
since then I worked with trauma, there's like toxic abandonment, and then I started working with the asylum, and that's where I really, started, like I told you, it felt like the door opened.
Yeah.
But then it's just always fighting against the storm, so.
You're always going to fight against a storm.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you're going to fight against a
Bigger,
storm. If you're, with me, even with mine, with all the stuff I've done, investor in my project, my first project, and you have to put your money where your
Put
mouth
everything
is.
into it.
You put your money where your mouth is, and you roll the dice.
Absolutely.
The thing I'd say, so are you talking like for distribution purposes, or
No,
when
for my
you're gonna
life,
start making your money back, or when
there's my
people are
life
gonna?
involved too, like you were saying, because, honestly, it wears on you after a while.
Oh, yeah, it does. But if you wanted to direct, and you wanted to get to that point where your name is out there, you're going to have to keep doing that until somebody takes notice.
Yeah, of course, and I think, I'm on the radar as far as they're saying, okay, if you could direct this one, we know you could direct. I'm not gonna do like Sharknado 3 or anything, but.
Why not?
I
You're
can't
doing
say
all
I
right.
could. Yeah, I can't say I could, but, I got a firm grasp on what I do.
Right.
And, I'm on trial right now.
Yeah, you're far enough in the fight, don't quit.
So I guess what you guys are saying is that everyone has their own limit of how far they can go and their own kind of deal going on, right? So it's whenever you pull the plug on, no, it's cool, man. This is what we're here for.
Okay.
Tony, did you want to pipe in about that at all?
Yeah, you're only as good as your weakest link, right? So no matter what you do, if you have any sort of control over that, just make sure everybody is coming to the game ready to play.
Yeah, we've put out hundreds of people in the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, just keep raising the bar, raising the stakes, and and then for yourself, whether you're a director, a producer, an actor, always try to surprise yourself. Try to find that hidden, that extra little, that last gallon of gas inside. It's like a marathon race. You got to find that energy to cross the finish line, and love what you do first and foremost. The more love you have, you're not going to worry about money. I was blessed because my struggle.
It's hard, man.
I know. I'm
Well,
gonna
you
share
want a
though.
project to make money back.
My struggle was not during the business, but between the time I went to grad school.
But you got an MBA, you said, right?
Yeah, but that isn't that. What does that buy you?
It doesn't
That
assure
buys
you
you,
anything,
but just
sure.
gives you a foundation of training and skills and stuff that you can rely on. But I moved to New York. Well, I taught for a minute in Connecticut, and then I moved to New York. It was a 6-year period before I got my first professional gig, but I never lost faith. I worked theater, which is my first love, and kept doing it. Did a one-man show, and Oliver Stone came to see it, and next thing you know, I'm in Platoon. Ever since then, I've been working nonstop. I've been different periods of different, whether it's Final Destination or a Sushi Girl, which are two different kinds of budgets, but constantly working. And on those lows you referred about, you fill your life with things you like to do. Whether it's gardening, cooking,
Still writing.
loving, writing,
I'm a
listening to
storyteller,
music,
Tony, it's
storytelling.
like, what you're talking about is, we find on a lot that you get problems. You get hit with problems all the time on set. You got no time. So it's like you have to find a creative solution, and end all be all. That's going to be in the film.
That's it.
But
Imagine
that's what you love doing.
What would a man do if he's sitting on death row, or in prison for life? Are you just going to sit there and rot away, or are you going to find ways to make that day creatively feasible? Right?
Thank you. Yeah, that's the answer I needed, because that's what I feel.
That's beautiful.
Back to Final Destination and Sushi Girl, right? These just polar extremes of films. But the Tony Todd game is always A. You never phone it in. There's always, even when you're the secret sauce, right? You still bring everything you can.
Yeah. When I failed, it's because I didn't check the weakest link part.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is sometimes out of your control.
Are you your own harsh critic, Tony? Harshest critic?
My children are my hardest. I haven't done a single movie yet they liked.
Really? It's not cool when Dad does it. Anyway.
No, it's not cool. I'm not hip at all.
All right. The audience, here's a man over there again. Let's do it. Yeah.
I just wanted to expound on what he said. I'm a little lower on the totem pole. My movies are like $500, and they get sold like on the internet and locally for now. But
a lot of my friends put their own money into it to try and make it come true and everything. And I'm just wondering, what's the best way to get noticed as a director?
I think we've
Do something that you care about. That's
Well,
gonna.
that's what I am doing.
Yeah, so the more you give up, if they didn't like that, find another. Look, everybody's acting like there's only one color to a human soul. There's more than that. There's at least 1,000 and counting, right? You have many levels of being a human being. So you keep telling stories around that, and finally you'll have something that connects to the multiplicity of people, as opposed to just one, you know?
Blow people away.
Tyler, can you talk a little bit about making your own opportunities too, what you're doing with your production company? Instead of just waiting for the phone to ring, you're actually creating your own environment. Can you talk about being a little bit more tenacious in this day and age?
Yeah, well right now I just finished a film, which I love, The Pieces Cowboys Girl, and I just started rehearsals on a one-man play, which I always go back to theater, because that keeps, whether it doesn't pay a lot of money, but it pays me enormously in my soul.
Sure.
So, we're doing this new play about Jack Johnson, who was the first heavyweight champion in the world, and his last 2 hours of life. And we're going to take that around, rehearse it, and then take it to colleges all across the country, and use it as an educational forum. That's personal.
That's awesome. Tyler, is there any main productions there? What do you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like being a 6'8" actor in the business, you get the roles of the serial killers, saber-tooths, all this stuff. So I wanted to expand my career and show what I could do. So I developed Main Entertainment, and my wife and I, Renee Geerlings, who was senior editor at Top Cow Comic Books, she's president of our company. We wrote the screenplay together and put it out there to show just what we could do, to create the opportunities that we wanted to get. And you have to do that nowadays, because if you sit around and wait for something to come to you, as a director, if you sit around and wait for someone to say, oh, come direct this, the phone is never gonna ring. You have to go out, create it, you have to do, you have to be, and you have to do the best damn job you can. And like Tony said, surround yourself with the very best people. That's exactly what I did. I first call was to this man right here and said, hey man, you wanna come fight me? He goes, hell yeah, And then you build from there and you create your team and you surround the people around you that you can get to protect you and do the best job and to put it out there.
Do the stuntmen ever have stuntmen? Has anyone ever doubled for you boys? Could they ever? They do? Really?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll beat your ass right now, but I will not fall off of a building.
Yeah, I did a lot. It's like for myself, like I did stunts for a while. I haven't done stunts technically for 8 years or so. It's all been acting, but I have the stunt background. I still have the skill set that I'll use. But a lot of times, it depends on where you are in the production. If you're above the line, whatever, and you're valuable to the feature, you're not going to do a lot of your own stunts. You still can do some, but some of the hairier ones, because you got to think on the business side. If that, like, you're Harrison Ford, if Harrison Ford he's an extremely physically talented dude, especially back in the day. If he gets hurt or breaks a leg, production shuts down and you lose millions of dollars. So even though he can do the stunts, you bring somebody else in to do it who's a little more expendable because it's a risk factor because you don't want to lose production.
We got some more time. Right there.
Okay, so with with movies like the Expendables, how they go so big, what are the chances of that happening in a horror situation?
I've heard a lot of rumors about it. I get pitched a lot going like, okay, think about this. What if it's the Expendables, but with all horror icons? Right, so it gets bounced around a lot, but it hasn't been executed yet. So I hear it a lot.
Don't have me there.
I'm trying to pass it on. I'm not trying to be a hog.
Are you guys comfortable with the term horror? I mean, you're actors first, you're performers. You're known for a few films you made that just happen to be horror, more than a few in some cases. But are you comfortable with being called horror icons? Is that cool?
I don't own to it. It's just the label. I don't. When someone says a horror icon, I'm like, I don't ever go, oh yeah, that's me. I don't ever think about that because I play. My job is to tell stories, and I move on, and whatnot. It's fun to do it, but it's everyone else's categorization and labeling, which you can call me whatever you like. My job is I'm continuing to tell stories.
I'm not a horror icon. I'm tailor-made.
Right.
There's Michael Myers, who is the icon.
Right.
I was lucky enough to play him.
Agreed. And also, it's like what we're doing is like with the mythology, with like the Jasons, the Michaels, the Candyman. It's our modern like Dracula, Frankenstein,
Of course, yeah.
and it's continuing moving forward. After we're done, there's going to be other people playing the characters because it's part of our own universal mythology.
Right, this goes back to the remake comment as well. I remember I saw Clash of the Titans, I took my kids to see it, and it was okay, I loved the original, I came out of there okay. These two 12-year-old kids ran up to their dad and said, "Dad, it was the best movie I've ever seen in my life." And then I got it. I got it. That movie wasn't made for me, it was made for that next generation to pass on the torch.
No, for sure. That's another thing also with story in general, like when I talk about mythology and saying it over and over, when we talk about remakes, the only difference that they're doing now is there's certain stories that are told over and over and over again. So like Romeo and Juliet and Titanic, same exact story. It's just a different title in a different situation. So what they're doing now for marketing, going like, rather than changing Romeo and Juliet, we're going to do Romeo and Juliet because we have a built-in audience for it and we're going to do it again. Is kind of what people are doing, kind of a different version or retelling, but it's basically the same story.
For a new generation that's weaned on different technology that expects different standards as well. I don't think the original Halloween would play that well to a 12-year-old, the average 12-year-old today, right? Any other questions for this eyes are scanning? There was a guy over there. You done? Are we okay?
Tyler, one more question. For your, again, Halloween character, how was it working with Rob Zombie, and how did you get into character to make yourself more like Michael Myers, the original, and not be able to talk a lot?
Yeah, working with Rob is fantastic. I mean, Rob, the first time I met Rob was on the set of The Devil's Rejects. And the sound guys were playing his, one of his music videos. He's got the dreadlocks whipping around, and I looked over and see Rob sitting in the director's chair, and he's sitting there chewing a piece of gum going, "You know, maybe we should move the camera a little bit." And I looked over and dreadlocks whipping, I'm like, holy, it was surreal. You know? I'm like, I'm working with Rob Zombie. How cool is that? And then to get into the character, I watched all the Halloween films, except for 3 where Michael Myers doesn't appear, and I don't know why they call it fucking Halloween, but anyhow. So I watched all those characters, and I talked with Rob, and I said, "Rob, I want to make more than a one-dimensional character, and I want to bring some life to this character." And when you don't get to talk, you have to bring it through body movements, you know? So when I was locked up in the sanitarium, I mean, my shoulders were slouched, I was dragging my feet a little more, and as I got towards that mask, then I became upright, put it on, and then I was Michael Myers, the killing machine.
So the whole concept of hiding your face and not being able to talk just was part of the character, your body language.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's through the movements of the body, you know, and it was a great acting exercise to be able to do that character and to do them twice.
And not be able to verbalize instead of it through body language.
I verbalized at the end of the second one. I said, "Die." Come on.
You know, Tony, decades of being in front of the camera and being very aware of your physical presence. Again, talk a little bit about your voiceover work. Do you completely shut that part down when you're doing in that little studio with that microphone in front of your face, or are you still really physically acting?
No, you still physically act. It's just using one element of your persona, you know. I mean, I still do the same kind of homework with voiceover assignment that I would do with an on-camera film project or a TV project, which is finding the backstory of the character.
With the pressure off, with the pressure off.
Well, actually, you know, voiceover is actually the more competitive of our little medium right now. Everybody wants to do voiceovers because it's easy money and it's quick, it's fast, it's over in a day usually. Mocap is the other form where you know, we've done a couple of video games and when you have to put on the wetsuit with the points of light and 82 points of light on your face, and you're in your room with no pockets, no belt, naked for all intents and purposes, 260 cameras filming your every move and gesture, and all that goes into the hard drive, and you realize that we are like this close to the future because every time you go there, they're capturing more and more of your emotive nature, you know, which is why video games are getting more and more realistic.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if this question was asked before I got in in here, but is there any, I know we're at Comic-Con, so you can take what I'm going to say for comic books or graphic novels, but is there any character that is in literature in general that you've seen or read that you think that would translate better on screen than inside the media of either book, graphic novel, or comic book?
Well, I love Coriolanus, and I think that would be a great film, Shakespeare play.
I can sit here for an hour. I just want to think about that. That's so cool. 'Cause it's
Sorry for the
no, it's really cool because it's just the different mediums. Like, going, how do you translate the two? I know they do for certain books, or comic books, or for
certain things like that work on, say, like in a comic book, like Wolverine, 5-foot dude, yellow, blue, doesn't work on film.
Yeah.
So they changed it, right, with his hair instead of the.
Yeah, because you have to tie it in.
It works.
To reality and humanity. I know we all relate to it. So yeah, I really got it.
But
So
there's so many characters in books and that I would love to have seen or love to see be put on film. Like they just did the Divergent, which I didn't read the books, but all the friends of mine that have read the books said that it's a great series to be putting on film because the source content that's in the book is so well. So I was just curious if there's any books or any medium, like any comic books or anything that you have read or you love, like Tony just said, that you would love to see.
Instinctually that comes to my brain. I would love to try to do. I love that internal struggle of things. So I would like to do maybe like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the sense of like that responsibility of humanity. Like, what have I done? Like, what have I become? Or in a sense of like a Frankenstein sort of thing, where it's like trying to find that humanity where it's bits and pieces, like get deeper of what am I? Because we all have that question of like who we are, like why are we here? But also to be even like a step away from that, going like, wait, I'm multiple people, and to capture that inner struggle would be a fun challenge on my part. That would be fun to bring forth.
For me, I mean, I would love to see something like a Eric the Red version done, or Columbus story, something that tells the truth. It's like with the Ajax story in Troy. It's not like the Iliad. So I would like to see something like that captured as close as we can get it to the storylines. That would be cool for me.
You got the mic. Greatest horror film that you've ever seen in your lifetime, not your own, and why? What movie, is there a horror film that really hit you that...
Why not mine? Are you saying mine aren't good enough?
I'm not saying that at all, sir.
Yeah, right?
No. You can comment on your own if you want.
Mine, my two favorites are The Shining and Jaws. After I saw Jaws the first time, I did not want to go in the bathtub for 2 weeks. It's over. I'm going to drop the mic because this Q&A is over.
Yes. Let's speed it down there. Derek, favorite horror movie and why?
God, you never ask me my favorite blank because it's always going to change. I never have a straight answer. I'll have like my top 5. Here's this, and like there's so many different reasons.
Give me a left field choice, like a really odd one.
A left field choice. Dude, for myself, I love the balance for like Evil Dead 2 because myself having like beside of me that's my background's all comedy. I do improv. Like when Tony's talking about your free time going back to the theater. In my free time, I do improv comedy. It's all made up on the spot and all the time on the weekends. And so I'll go and do, if I'm not doing a TV or film job, I'll do that. I do like a show called The Resistance where we improvise a complete story, but we have like we'll cry, we'll have emotional tie-ins, but also it's comedy. But so with the Evil Dead 2, like that balance of like action and comedy together, I really dig that.
And horror and comedy is very, very difficult to do. Tony.
It's gonna sound silly, but Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Yeah. I got that for my kids on Blu-ray, actually.
You had everybody in it. You had comedy. You had
it was the Monster Squad of that.
Kids love it, and I remember seeing it as a kid.
I think we're done. Actually, boys, can I borrow you for one more question? Sure. Make it a good one. Make it a short one. Let's go.
Simple, quick question. Best comic book movie up to this point?
Oh, balls.
Balls. There you go. Yes.
First Batman.
Yeah.
Like the Tim Burton Batman are we talking about? Or are we talking right, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
I
really like Dark Knight. I love Dark Knight. I know
Batman Wars.
I love the struggle of like having the time of the comic of the Joker of like the dichotomy, like I created you, you created me, without the opposites, without good there's no evil. Like I love that.
Best comic book movie ever made. What he said?
Oh, first X-Men.
All right, put your hands together. This has been amazing. Hopefully you learned something. Go down and visit them at their tables. Come back tomorrow. They'll be here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Way to take your shit well. See you guys. Thank you.